Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Well, as announced yesterday, our former Prime Minister Scott Morrison has decided he'll be leaving politics for good. Where the bloody hell is he going? Well, let's ask him. Good morning, Scott Morrison.
Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Jonesy.
Sky, mate.
Good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Well, it has been a while, and you're a civilian now.
Well, soon, at the end of February, I'll be standing down as the member for Cook, which is, people know, down in southern Sydney in the Shire, and as, of course, you know, Jonesy. And I'm really thankful to my local community for all the support they've given to me over what's been more than 16 years now in the Parliament. When you're a Prime Minister or a Treasurer or everything, the first job you have is the member of the electorate you are in the Parliament, and it's been my great honour and privilege to serve that community now for quite a long period of time, and they've just been fantastic. So thanks to everyone down in the Shire in southern Sydney. I really appreciate your support, and as always, Jonesy, up Cronulla.
Yes, indeed.
As a Prime Minister during some of the toughest times we've had, during the pandemic, we were just talking about it before, we knew at the time we'd look back and think, gee, these days are terrifying and unprecedented. Were they your darkest days as our Prime Minister?
Well, in many respects they were. The challenges with China, frankly, were even more concerning, and we took very strong positions there with AUKUS and the Quad and a whole range of other things. But certainly for the pandemic, it was just uncharted territory. You were looking into the abyss on a daily basis. No one knew, particularly in those early months, what this thing was, how deadly it was. Everyone's livelihoods were at risk, not just their lives. And I'm just really proud that, Australia came through that. I know we didn't have a perfect response, but I tell you, I've done a lot of work, globally, and we'll be doing more in the future. And Australia is incredibly respected for the fact that we had one of the lowest death rates in the world and one of the strongest economies to come through it. So Australians pulled through, and as Prime Minister, I was pleased to play my role in leading us through that.
And you went through some difficult times. You were on the show where you said about the bushfire thing, and then you regretted going to Hawaii, and you discussed that on our very own show. And then you had the pandemic. It felt to me for a while there, can you get any more prickly footballs thrown at you during your Prime Ministership?
Well, I don't think we saw over those almost 4 years any of the same combination of events we've seen since the Second World War. I think that's pretty well, understood and accepted. But that's the nature of the job, guys. You're elected and you deal with what you deal with, and you can go in with a whole range of things you'd like to do, but you've got to deal with the stuff that comes in Australia's way at that time, and whether it was on security or whether it was how we got the economy through. But it was a lot of other things we did in health. I mean, some of the drugs that we listed on the PBS, on cystic fibrosis, the thing which I know Jenny was particularly passionate about, that we did on endometriosis, and as a Prime Minister and as a Minister and as a Treasurer, you get great opportunity to get a lot done, and I'm very happy with what we're able to get done in that time. I never wasted a day, I believe. I gave it everything I've got, and now down in Cook, the party will have a chance to select a new candidate for the Liberal Party, who I'm sure will come and bring the same passion and enthusiasm and long-term commitment that I started with more than 16 years ago.
And what happens now? Where are you off to?
I'm taking up a number of advisory roles, mainly in the US, with the work I did with the US, particularly around AUKUS and the defence industry. That's a very big initiative, very proud of that, and it is very massively supported over there. It's bipartisan. Over the last 18 months, I've actually worked with the government when I've been in the UK and the US to promote AUKUS and to make sure everyone there knows it's bipartisan, there's no politics in it, and particularly with Richard Marlsey and I have worked together on that. So, look, I'll keep doing that, but, I move into the private sector and into private life, and I'm working with Mike Pompeo, who was former director of the CIA and was the Secretary of State for Donald Trump, and also his national security advisor, Robert O'Brien. I mean, I made some great friendships during that time as Prime Minister, and it's going to be good working with those guys. And look, there are a number of others that I'll be taking up in due course, but private life and life in the Shire, and my family, Jenny and the girls, sacrificed a lot for me to do what I did over those years, and it's time for me to be investing more in what they'd like to do with their lives and supporting them.
Is it you're resigning from Parliament is because the guy that posted the thing about the Engadine Macca story has come out and said that never happened, he just made it up?
Yeah, that was look. You take those on the chin. You don't take yourself too seriously, but. I thought that was a bit unkind, and that went all over the world.
All over the bathroom.
But the guy actually came out and he said, I just made that up.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people, a joke's a joke, and that's fair enough, but... sometimes the joke goes a bit far. But, when you're in politics, you deal with all sorts of things that come your way. You always take what you do seriously, but you don't take yourself too seriously, as my converted Up Cronulla song for the Jonesy Amanda.
Well, come on. Let's get it on.
It's our favourite.
Amanda, the girl in the red, white and blue.
Well, ScoMo, we didn't always see eye to eye on a lot of things, but you were the Prime Minister. You gave it a go. And
during some very difficult times, and all the best to you and Jenny and the girls.
Well, thanks. I'll see you on Australia Day, Jonesy.
Yes, yes.
Happy Australia Day. I know you're a big one for that down there in the Shire. We're all looking forward to seeing you. It'll be a great day for everybody who comes along, safe, and families and everything. Looking forward to it.
Of course. Good on you, mate. You look after yourself.
Thank you.